What's good? Anything? Anything good? Okay. I just,
Trying to, Jamie's trying to get off the phone call.
oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
Sandra.
I'm just grateful that I finally have some time, if that's the starting. It's like,
Oh, perfect.
I finally got the videos that finally started thinking calls. And it-
Good.
But
Yeah. See, you're so different than I am. I would never want to work with second graders. So, yeah, I'm like, we need people like you in the world. Awesome, awesome. What else? What else is good? Barbecue today. Barbecue today. There is barbecue today. I wanted to think. Some people walk around and they see the meeting that we have before this once a month. Um, and the top producing agents, and we might talk about some of the stuff that we actually talked about in there because I think it's important. But we get together and they essentially talk about the economy, how that's affecting real estate, what's going on with buyers and sellers. And I want to thank them because this is already a pretty raw place to do, essentially tell your business in an open book fashion. But in that particular setting, it's really cool watching those agents just get to know each other better and also be able to support each other in a really unique way that I don't think a lot of places have. And I mean, today was a perfect example of that. So I just want to say thank you to the agents that show up to that particular meeting in the morning. So, all right, moving on so we can get to the ALC portion of the meeting as well as some discussion. So block party today. So that is going to actually be at 11:30. And then moving forward, are we going to do 11:30 each time? Or are we going to do noon? We're going to do it right at 11.
After 11:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just so that we have time, because usually it's going to be someone in the meeting. It's going to be an agent that's going down there and either barbecuing or cooking or grilling. So it gives them time to get down there and start grilling. So those will be at 11:30 after the team meetings. Don't leave. It's free food. And we all know how you like free food and great conversation. So today we'll be starting the first one. That one is put on by the Market Center. And then afterwards, we'll kind of have those assigned either to ALC or different teams. Next. Also free food. Right.
Oh. Broker open. Yeah, you guys should probably be here eating food with all the people because Oak Grove's not right up the street. But we're doing a broker open up there. So if you happen to live up there, come on up. We'll just say that is an awesome house. I mean, that's you got a building that really is pretty much bigger than the house and it's got a lift in it.
Like, is that the garage?
Yeah, the garage is literally just absolutely massive, 14.
The semi? Like, that's a tall garage.
Those are 14-foot doors, so pretty much every motorhome that you can buy will fit in there. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
By the east?
It's just it's just north of Anoka. So
Okay,
it's
Circle
so the people, yeah, the people living there are all working.
Like,
Like they can target and everything that's right there north of the city. So that's 25 minutes north of the
drive. That's a cool listing.
Yeah, it's a good list. Yeah, it's good. Lakers.
Awesome. All right. CE, Candy, this is you. Yeah. Can we all bucket fill Candy, by the way, because she's making sure that you guys still have your license at the end of this month. We tell you that it's not an easy feat. Reining all of you in, reminding you and getting CE for you guys to do. So thank you, Candy. And then I'm going to let you remind them on it.
And you know what makes it even easier is if you scan that QR code and then just tell me where you're at with your CE. That's awesome. And it lets you check it. So then you know if you need to make a plan still before the end of June or if you're all set. Some people have already scanned it, a very small amount. So I'm going to put them in the drawing right now.
To win something?
You get to win.
What are we winning?
You win a gift card. So you're gonna win a gift card. Plus you get to check your CE and know where you're at for the end of the year. So
Either panic or not.
hopefully not. So yeah, so scan that QR code. It's on our Facebook page as well. So that you guys can tell me where you're at with your CE and we'll have a great June.
When is that getting drawn?
I think we had it on June 16th during the team meeting. So you have 2 more weeks to check it. You don't have to be done. You just have to know where you're at. The goal is so that you see it. You know, if you go in there and you're like, oh my goodness, I still need 7 credits. Now's a good time to make that plan. June 30th is not a good time to make that plan. So.
Well, June 30th, you would no longer have a license if you choose to make your
Well,
plan.
June 30th, you'd still have a
Yeah.
license. July 1st, you wouldn't have a license.
Got it.
And you can only do 8 credits in a day. They won't let you do more than that, so you cannot get 16 in the
How
last.
do you know that?
Because I
Yes.
just.
And I know that because it actually did not register when before go by.
It's out there too. We have in the years past had people finish well before June 30th, but those, depending on where you take it, they have 10 days to report those to the DOC. So some people have lost their license even though they're done before June 30th because wherever they took it from didn't have them uploaded or there was a glitch with the system and they have lost their license. So if you're done by June 16th, that gives them easily 10 days to get uploaded, or we can start panicking in those 4 days and say like, hey, where are these credits?
And this is not like a joke. Like if you have a listing and you lose your license, the listing actually goes to the broker, and that's a really uncomfortable conversation to have with your seller. Because like at that point, they can see it's not listed by you anymore. So it's not like you get a slap on the hand, like it actually happens.
And you can't talk to your seller anymore actually either because you're not licensed. So all that
I've had it
communication has to
happen
come
in
through
the
the broker.
past.
So
An old life.
yeah, just let's avoid that.
Hey guys, I know you're all like binging on Netflix or whatever else you're doing at night. Just put that on your laptop at the same time, okay? Like at least you'll get it done. Yeah, you're all laughing because I know it's true. Next. Okay, boat cruise. Do we have the date? So the date is July 15th, right? We are going on, it's Lady of the Lake, correct? There will be appetizers. We always have someone, usually have a drink ticket or something. We have the faces on the door right now, correct? So if your face isn't up there and you want your face up there, we got to get you a listing. It has to be signed and then it has to be put where? Wow, that was really good. It has to be put into command. And then you get put up on the board and you get a ticket onto the boat. If you're a buyer's agent, you have to refer that to your listing agent and we have to know about that. So that just has to be an email either to Lydia to say, hey, this was referred to by our buyer agent or someone on our team. All right. Any questions around the boat cruise? All right. You want to talk about this?
Sure. So this is a free event hosted by the region. It's on Zoom, so highly encourage you to attend. It's from a MAPS coach and just talking about AI and marketing. So should be a great class. You can do it from home. We'll also have it streaming here in the training room if you want to come and watch it with a group of people. So either way, but go ahead and scan this and get registered.
And it's
at 2
It's
o'clock.
free and you can be watching it anywhere. So any AI course I'd be taking right now. If it's free, put it on. Again, whatever you're doing, cleaning your house, doing your laundry, put it on because all of them are different and they're all different in regards to how you use AI. And it's not going away. So at least you're going to get a little nugget from each class that you take. Some you might take more from, some you might not, but it's well worth it because you pay no money. So again, I highly suggest going on this. And again, it can be from anywhere. Just pop it on your computer or your phone.
We had AI build a new squeeze page to collect contact info in less than 5 minutes.
Everyone's like, what's a squeeze page?
Yeah, so like if,
Like there's so many things you just said that they're like, huh?
if someone commented on a social media post that I created, we have a bot that now sends them a link. The squeeze page is what they have to fill out to get our net sheet emailed to them. So they don't get a copy of our net sheet unless I have to. And AI built it all in 5 minutes.
And how many of you click on something and then someone asks you for like, oh, if you want more information on this, blah, blah, blah. I do it on every Montana home that's out there. And then all of a sudden you get all the information, but now they have all of your contact information, right? They now just took and got, I don't know. I mean, daily, I'm guessing you can get how many new contacts that way. And it took you, again, 5 minutes
And
So-
it wasn't even me, it was someone on my team. So we're now leaning heavily into Claude. And it makes your different technologies speak to each other. It's pretty cool.
So again, AI can make your life a little bit more, you use it quite a bit, don't you? AI? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes your life a lot easier in various different ways. So, all right, moving on.
I'll
Okay.
talk about this too. Do you want me to talk about?
I mean, I'm revved about it. You talk about it though. Do it, Candy.
No, you guys asked about it. We're having her here. So Wendy's coming on June 16th. It's really small up there, so I'm gonna say it again. June 16th, 11 to 12:30. She will speak right after our team meeting. We are allotting an hour and a half for her because of questions and different things. We'll have lunch here, so we'll just roll right into her after the team meeting. But she's gonna talk about short sales, and foreclosures and stuff that she is seeing.
Part of this is, not only did you guys ask for it, I think it was actually Tony that was on a phone call with her, and the numbers for how many people have actually defaulted on their loan or potential short sales because of different forbearance loans. 1 in 4 VA and FHA loans was the stat that she put out there, and 1 in 6 conventional loans, to the point that there's more than there was in 2008. The only reason we're not seeing them is because of the equity in the home. So the looks on your guys' faces is a very real thing. And if we're not having these conversations right now with our sellers, like, hey, did you take a loan out during COVID time? It's not showing up until the payoff. And then all of a sudden it potentially is a short sale because they either forgot about it, wasn't put on the loan balance because it doesn't show up on there. So these are conversations that we need to be having with our sellers, and at least asking the question if they took out any loans during that period of time. Because sometimes people just randomly forget, or they think it was wrapped into their principal that they're paying off right now and it's not. So it's a class that we all should be at because it's not going to go away. I mean, this morning, Matt Strobel talked about sheriff sales. And I mean, some of you might not even know what that is because it's been a long time since people were buying properties off of sheriff sales. And essentially that's the first part of foreclosure. You go buy it. They have a redemption period where they can sell it in. Otherwise it's your house for whatever you bought it for at that sale. So, I mean, those things are coming back and it's not in just small amounts. They're around. So if you have no idea about this, be at that class. I highly recommend it. If I could make it required, I would, because I think it's going to be a conversation that's going to be happening more than what we potentially want to. Any questions around that? You guys, this also provides an opportunity to be there for people in a way that they need, where other agents that don't know about this, they either 1, won't sell their house, 2, they might actually go into foreclosure if they're not dealing with the right agents. Like, it's a very serious thing. And having the skill set to be able to have these conversations is going to be huge. And honestly, every seller deserves that. So this is a class that I highly, highly, highly recommend you being at. All right. Guys in golf, we essentially have 3 people signed up so far. So either the guys don't like Utah golf, or they're terrified that I'm now going to be there instead of then John. But either way, we're trying to do something nice for the guys since we did something great for the gals last month. So sign up, invite a friend from a different brokerage. It'll be fun. Like, who doesn't like Top Golf and food and maybe some cocktails? Everybody likes it. If not, I'm going to just start inviting random people that you're going to have to deal with for the people that already went. So yeah, there you are.
Dealing with the women.
TDs will crash the party.
All of a sudden it's guys, gals, and golf.
Go to the flower thing.
I said you could come to the flower thing and.
We're not going there, just sign up for the golf and we're moving on from this conversation. QR code's there. Sign up. It'll be fun. This is you, I think, the next.
Signing up, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, Jackie, you cannot go to the guys in golf.
For the digital roadshow, is that 2 p.m. Central Time? That's gonna be, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if she knows. Okay.
So this is, again, another team meeting, so just come to the team meeting and get this awesome training. But Command has joined forces with Lone Wolf, so all of our transactions and everything are going to be accessible through Command. And this is where you're gonna learn how to do everything. So come to this training on June 23rd. It will be the whole team meeting essentially. It's an hour long, and Kelly of Profile and their office will be. It'll
Oh.
actually be winning.
You're like, it'll actually be me. So
No,
there,
no, yesterday it'll actually be.
We're happy to have you here.
this is awesome for Command, just having the transaction that's actually in there. Again, I have no idea how it's gonna work, but Whitney's gonna tell us all about it. And it's gonna be great. So show up
And bring your laptop, right?
and bring your laptop.
You-
Yeah.
You brought your laptop, we can just do it right there.
Bring it.
23rd. All right. Do I hear a motion? And okay, first of all, ALC meeting is always the first team meeting of the month. The ALC is the Agent Leadership Council. If you've never been to one of these, it is the top 20% gets invited. Then you have a fun little interview / questionnaire with me. Choose who is going to be on the ALC. And then part of this is we meet every single week accountability wise to keep up on our business. But this meeting is to open their books, each one of their businesses, where it's at, what's going well, what might not be going well, or what a challenge might be, to let you see what a real estate business runs like. And each one of these people up here has a very different business. And if Ben shows up, he has a very different business. So it allows you to see that there are, multiple different ways to run your business. But the most important thing is having your numbers and knowing your numbers. Do I hear a motion to start the June ALC meeting? Second? Okay. Just because we have some new faces in here, when we kind of start all of this, introduce yourself, say what your team is, whether it's your personal numbers, because you're also going to know that some of these people have a team. So some of the numbers are personal numbers, some of them are their team numbers, just so that you can kind of differentiate from that. So let's go right into numbers. Who wants to start?
I can start from Band-Aid. My name is Bethany Nelson. I have a team here. We have 6 agents, including myself, and then 2 in-office operations staff and 2 virtual operations staff. I'm going to be reporting on my personal numbers for dials and contacts, and the rest will be for the team. So dials, my goal was 1,250 dials. I only got 121 done on my dialer. Contacts, my goal was 100. On my dialer, I only got 17. For appointments, our team goal was 20 appointments. We had 15 appointments recorded. Our goal for new contracts, so that's new listing or buyer representation agreements, was 16, got 15. Our closed unit goal was 12, got 12. Our closed GCI, so gross commission income goal, was 175,000. We were just under 150,000. And right now the books look like we'll be at our profit goal.
Okay. So, appointments, you were down by 5. Actual contracts, only 1. So either you had those like follow-up calls that you ended up making up for. Closed, you were right on, which was probably pendings from the month before. When you talk about GCI, profit being in the green, obviously you were down by 25,000 or so. Profit wise, were you on for your profit goal or just in the green?
Our books aren't done yet, so we do a monthly P&L. What I can tell right now is we should be right around there.
Okay.
It's just a matter. We do front some costs for some of our sellers.
Okay.
Sometimes that depends too on if we took a bunch of listings, our expenses could be higher that month versus a month that we did that.
Okay. Any questions that you guys have for Bethany?
Do you mind sharing what your profit percentage is?
Yeah, our goal is 25% profit. Yeah. Yeah, we really try to run our goal is 48% cost of sale. And then what would that make it? I can't remember the expense percentage
Should
then,
be
but
35.
Any other questions for Bethany? Okay, who's next?
Go. My name's Jacob Milton. JDM Homes is my team. I have one assistant and 6 agents on my team. My dials and contacts are my personal activities, and the rest will be my team's. My goal for dials was 2,400. I was short with 1,474. Contacts goal was 240. I surpassed that with 248. Appointments goal was 20. I had 21. Contracts goal was 11. I had 8. Close goal was 8, which I hit with 8. DCI goal was 88,000. Short with 66,000, and I was short on profit.
Okay, for people that are listening, right, because you're gonna see a difference in context dials. Your primary lead gen is what?
Calling.
I mean, it's like list calling and follow-up calling. And I mean, that's just a constant. So I'm like, when you have a 2,400 per month goal, that's very different than people that sometimes do events or sphere-based. And so when you're hearing that number, that's a consistent to get to your 20 appointments or 21 appointments, right? With your GCI, and then profit being short, where does that lie? Because I mean, that's a $22,000 difference. GCI, right? So profit, where are you at? Like, was it just because of that shortage that kind of put you
I
at
would
that?
hit my profit goal if I hit the GCI goal.
Okay,
So just had some smaller transactions
Okay.
this month, I would say.
okay,
So GCI was down.
yeah, because you hit the actual close unit. Got it.
do you know how many units need to close with the team and be in the green? Or just, black?
I mean, it's possible with 8.
I mean, not
Yeah,
the sales price.
I had several pretty small deals this month.
Ours is 7. Price. As long as we do 7 or more.
And so like in March, I had 7 closed for 81,000, which was, and my goal was 66.
Okay.
So actually 1 fewer unit than I had. It's at 15,000 more in GC.
Okay. So you said your goal that was March, that you did 81 and goal was 66. How, like, just because you mentioned that, how did the goal shift? Do you shift it each month depending on where it was the year before, what your expenses were? Because those GCI goals were different.
No, it's the same.
So you said your GCI goal that month was,
Oh, it's spread out throughout the year based
Okay,
on
got it.
number of transactions.
got it. Okay,
I think I looked at like just what you typically see in the market for transactions throughout the year, and then also what I had the previous
previous
year.
year. Okay. Any other questions for Jacob?
Of the appointments, so of the 21 appointments, I don't know this number for myself, so if you don't know, that's totally fine, but do you know how many of the 21 you?
Those are mine.
Well, those are all you. Okay. So then your agents on top are separate.
Mhm.
How many of the 8 contracts?
Probably 2.
Awesome. Great question.
Pass.
I mean, you can drill him all you want.
That'd be really fun for me.
What's fun is Jacob's team has grown a lot since the start of this year. So if you didn't know that, so as you continue to onboard more agents, some of these numbers will begin to shift. And I know as a team lead myself, it's important to pay attention to what percentage of the business is you. So like I'm 28% of our team's production. And so you know what percentage of the team's production you are. No.
When you say 28%, are you saying 28% you're personally dealing with, or the leads are 28% yours?
No.
Because I think those are
Yeah.
those are two different things, right? Because if it's like 28% are just,
Yeah.
and then you give other leads and that's not part of that, or
28% of our closings are my buyers or sellers that I am personally talking to.
okay,
Over 65 to 70% of the business is business generated, meaning I myself or the team processes is generated.
Awesome. All right, who's next? I mean, are you done?
Yep.
Okay.
I can go. I'm Royce. I'm a commercial agent, so my numbers look a little different than these guys. I'm a solo agent as well. So my goal for reach outs this last month was 108, made 90. Contact goal was 35, made 24. Appointment goal was 7, I made 8. Contract goal was 4, hit 2. Closed units was 3. I actually had 1. I don't know why I marked that. My GCI goal was 30,000, and my actual was 13,125.
Profit.
I don't have that piece figured out.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, I mean, I know that especially with commercial, right? Like you have quite a few deals that are in the works right now, take a little bit longer. So tell us a little bit about that in regards to the closed 3 versus 1.
Yeah, so it was a tough month as far as closing goes, but I did put under contract a $3 million deal and a $1.55 million deal, and I'm very close on a $1.45 million deal. So it's going to be a good August, I think.
Okay.
And I've got a couple lease deals that I've been working on for months as well. So my overall GCI goal for the year is 350. I'm only at 65 right now, but I think once August hits, it's going to go north of 25. So I should be on track for goal.
Okay. Any questions for Royce at all? All right.
Alrighty, let's do it. Okay, so let's see for
Let
dial.
me ask if you got sleep this time.
Oh yeah,
We're good.
baby.
Oh, we're good. We're good this month.
Baby don't sleep. Let's see. Dialed reach outs for the month are 400. I was under on a number of these, but that's mainly the big picture is that we've been so busy in the business putting deals together that we have not been able to do as much lead generating as we want, which means not as many dials, reach outs, and appointments. So with that. 360 dials, reach outs is all we hit, and the goal was 400. Contacts, these are actually for me when I say we, it's me. Contacts, 170 was the goal. 200 was the goal, and 170. The goal for appointments is 17. That's for the team. We had 6, so we are behind on appointments. Contracts written, goal is 14 and a half. That's purchase agreements. We had 18 purchase agreements written, so that's what we were busy doing.
14 and a half. Can we like?
That's how we calculated.
Okay.
Goal, which Jacob Milton taught me how to do that. So,
I think he rounds it to a whole number though.
all right. Well, I am still learning to do. Closed units. Goal is 13. We had 14 units. And then GCI, we were able to hit that along with profit.
And what is the GCI goal?
GCI goal is 167.
Okay.
Profit goal is 67, which we're like a 30% profit.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick on you a little bit.
Let's hope.
So we said we didn't do our contacts and our calls because we were in the business. And
Which
we had,
isn't an excuse. I agree.
well, it's really not because you
No.
only hit 6 appointments out of 17. So what did you mean by in the
Oh,
business?
in the business. Showing,
We're talking about his purchase agreement.
right, the purchase
Okay.
agreement.
I mean, but I think it's a fair question, right?
Totally,
Because it's
yeah.
like,
Because I was out on the streets, doing showings and all sorts of those things.
and I'm picking on you because what does that mean for you?
It means that our future business is going to be lesser.
Nope. What does that mean if we're not in our business and we're too much on the streets? What kind of support would you need?
Need more support, right? We need like more buyers each.
Okay, that's what I was getting
Yeah.
at. I was just
Oh, yeah.
trying to
Oh, yeah.
press the button a little bit
Yeah,
there
thank
for you.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
very well done.
So
Um,
we're all being sensitive to the fact that Royce needs to hire an admin.
I mean, I could go into the whole thing, but, and these are really honest conversations that we have on a weekly basis, so I'm not picking on Ben, and yes, Royce needs to hire an admin, and that's why he didn't hit his 108 and a few other things in there. But these are the real conversations though to have, right? Because if you're not like what you said is in the future, the business isn't going to necessarily be there. Like, awesome, we got one extra, we still have a gap in what our yearly goal is. And if we're not catching up with that, you're going to be kind of, again, hustling and scrambling to get that, right? So, and I know I can pick on you because you're such a good sport. What other questions do we have for Ben now that I just had to make sure that he knew he's the buyer's agent? Any other questions you guys have for him?
I guess obviously with your 18 purchase agreement. So your next 30 to 60 days are good. It's really probably what's after. How do you feel year to date are on pace?
We are on target, maybe even slightly above now, right? We're still 9. Alex was doing that like. And Courtney, both Alex and Courtney would know that was Yeah. So we're 9-9.
So the really fun thing is when you coach with me, I get to know your numbers better than you know them sometimes, and it's not always a good thing. You are catching up though. You are.
We're trying.
Yep. I mean, with these pendings, if these go to full close, the gap will probably be like 3.
And I sold 5 over this last weekend.
There you go.
That's not.
When
you
go.
Yeah. I think you guys usually have a big summer gathering.
Right.
Do you?
Oh, this is a great question to ask. Did you get the invites out? Oh,
They're coming. They're coming.
Was the ALC lunch like multiple times?
Yeah.
Yeah, Courtney.
Yes, they do have a summer.
With all of those things, just saying.
Love that. I
No.
Thank you.
Because that's like part of what we need.
We really do. But, invites, easy peasy.
Love it. Thank you.
Ben,
Do you
Ben,
know like how much new business do they get when you dispose of
Like
them?
from that event, it's hard to really, I'd say, put a number to that as much as it's another touch that allows them now be top of mind or us be top of mind for them again. So no, but I mean, most of them are all of our VIPs that generally send us 1 to 2 pieces of business or at least referrals a year, whether they turn into anything or not. It's the fact that they're trusted.
I have a question for the dessert team.
Yeah.
And should help Royce a little bit, and hopefully the rest of the room understand. Do you guys remember how long it took you to get your first admin when people started advising you that you really should get an admin?
Everyone is really smart. We're just not good at following. Yes. So like we were told like 3 years.
It was probably between 2 and 3 years before you finally committed to it. And so let's maybe not make the same mistake twice.
I completely agree. And always hire probably a little sooner than you even maybe think that you should, right? And that's yes, we
It's
can
just-
follow through with that as well.
Yeah, it's worth noting. You haven't always had a team like this, I mean, it was just the 2 of you guys for a long time. And it takes quite a bit before you finally commit, and you guys did. So
I think because
now you have to do it again.
really busy weeks and then you kind of slow down and you get caught up and then you feel like you don't need to hire someone.
Yeah.
But we're kind of going through that pain right now too. We bite the bullet.
Yesterday. Like with that though, is there's 2 ways to hire. You're hiring for leverage or you're hiring for luxury. And you have to be super clear on which one you are. Because when you hire for leverage, I mean, Jess just walked in the room, but when we got into business together 5.5 years ago, I told her on the phone, this is what I can afford to pay you. And I want to pay you more, but we have to grow. And so you're really actually only hiring someone in 30-day increments, because if the goal is in the first 30 days, it's they watch you do it, then the next 30 days is you're doing it together. And in the last 30 days of a 90-day on-ramp, they're doing it and you're approving it. And then quite frankly, if they haven't done that by then, you're letting them go. Right? Because here's the cool part is everyone stresses out about, I can't afford an admin because they're going to be blank dollars. And instead break it down to what's actually the monthly commitment of that hire. And then really have a 3 to 4 month reserve for that role is really all you need. Because in 90 days, like we just talked about, like Ben's not worried about where their numbers are going to be in the next 30 to 60 because they just had 18 plus purchase agreements. It's if he doesn't get stuff off his plate now, the next 90 to 120 are going to be the rough ones.
And all that new business that you got from that leverage is now easier to be able to.
I think I'm holding myself back because I'm stressed out about the time that it's gonna take to meet someone, but I like your idea of the 30, 30, 30.
Here's the thing, they're going to learn how to do it better than you.
I want them to do it.
I have no clue how to do it.
You did the same thing too, with, I mean, when you hired where, and then
I think you should be able to hand enough off to right away to gain that time back while you're scared, right? You should be able to hand them certain tasks to save you 2 hours a day right away. Right? So now you're breaking even on that. So instead of doing those things for 2 hours, now you're spending 2 hours training them on more stuff. You're already there almost right away.
The other thing we did that worked really well, and Jacob does too, I think you guys did too, is Jess and I shared an office for the first 2 years. And so she heard how I talk on the phone. She saw how I handle objections, questions. Like now, even our agents, they're afraid to talk to me. They go to her. But I trust her to answer just like I would. She's just a little bit softer. And so, but she, you know, she can handle questions too from our agents because, and I would do that again if you know.
I agree with that. That's how I learned from Scott, is just listening to him talk, and listening to his phone calls, listening to how he handles certain situations.
The other thing they're doing at the beginning, and we're working on now with our virtual assistants, is they're actually building their own playbook. So let's say in 60 days you realize that the person you hired is not the right person. Well, if you let them go, you're not starting all over from scratch, because when I just showed them how to book a showing and showing time and they recorded it and documented it, now I don't have to show the next person. I can just be like, here's the playbook. So they build their playbook too.
I'm not sure where we went from there, but any other questions, I think, for Ben?
Ben needs to hire agents.
I need an admin.
I'm gonna go over, we don't have some of the numbers, but I mean, our biggest numbers for us is obviously GCI, which I think you could probably say what our GCI was last month for the cover sheet. Heather, was a huge month for you agents on gross commission.
The agents last month made $1.8 million.
That's one of the biggest months we've had, actually,
Awesome.
in I think the whole time I've been here. Right. We also are now, and I think we talked about this last month, we had not hit 150 agents, and we're now at 155. So our gross so far has been 20, net 11. Last year, we were at 20 gross, I think, by like third quarter. So we are way ahead of schedule on that piece. And honestly, part of it for me, when we talk about lead gen, and they know I've struggled for a long time with recruiting. That's not my like natural. I can connect with agents. I can coach agents. I don't sell agents. So that's been a really hard thing for me to do in regards to the recruiting. John knows this sometimes, and he's like, okay, great. We need to work on some of this stuff. But what I've found in the last probably 9 months is if I do it the way that I want to do it and I'm me, it's more attractive to agents and I can have different conversations with them. I talked with my coach this morning, and my goal every single week now is 100 follow-ups and 50 new contacts of agents, which that's a whole different ballgame on how I follow up with them and how I talk with them. Because right now the game in recruiting is for a lot of agents to join teams. And some of our teams aren't hiring. And so we're kind of posing that in a very different way as a productivity team here. So it's been a win, and we've talked about it quite a bit, and I've had some really good conversations, but years before I struggled a lot on that gross number. So this year has been really great. And I've had a lot of help from the agents just referring people in and growing their teams and having those real conversations. I would say most of the people have come from a referral base, which is huge, versus a cold call, because agents don't want to be recruited for whatever reason. They just don't want that. And that's what it feels like when someone like me talks to them. Questions for me on that piece? Really? Did it get like any like backlash on that or anything? Okay.
Yeah, you remember your goal, 100 or 50 new contacts a month or week?
So in June, it's gonna be a week. So that's
Just
200.
cold or however.
So, because I switched to Corded, right, so I have my pipeline, so it's 50 new people added to that pipeline from the contact list, because if I don't actually have a conversation, I don't put them on it. So it's 50 new each that aren't on either the R1 or the R2, contact list. So just trying to build that more so that the conversations and the relationships get them. And then 100 follow-ups, which I get reminded of daily anyway.
And what do you do for the follow-up?
It depends. It depends. Like, so some of them, they're blind offers that went out, or it's a conversation and then they asked for an offer. Some of it's inviting to events. Some of it's inviting to the top 10%. Others it's inviting to team meetings. So we're trying to get them in. If I've already tried the, hey, can we meet for coffee? I don't ask that again for like a 3-month period of time. So then I try to switch it up or bring some sort of value. Any other questions?
Are any of you dealing with closures?
Okay, so let's stop. Let's stop. Do I hear a motion to end the ALC portion of the meeting then?
Yes, motion to end the meeting.
Okay, so we do that every single month as more of like a structured meeting with them. Again, it is not easy right now. A lot of them are on pace or close to on pace, but when you're not on pace, which has happened, that's not an easy conversation to have at all. And quite honestly, most of us as agents don't even have that conversation with ourselves. We just kind of like dig our head in the sand and then realize, do I need a quote unquote another job? Right. So having this is an opportunity for you guys to hear that it's not always roses and sunshine, and they're high producing teams, right? And sometimes they're in the red on a month. Sometimes they're way ahead. Other times they have personal things that come in and it's like, hey, I didn't hit my goal. That's real. And if you don't believe that that piece is real, they're making sure that they're overcoming all of that each month, and like they know what the gaps are. So when that hits, it doesn't just tank their business. So hopefully you find this helpful each month to just kind of hear where they're at and what kind of perspective they have. So again, let's just give them a round of applause for kind of putting themselves out there. And I always give them a hard time because we talk about these numbers often. So they're good sports. All right, so question was, are you seeing foreclosures? And this was kind of the topic. We're having that class on the 16th. This has been the topic for agents that some don't want to talk about. Some are like, oh, I just wish we didn't know that this was actually happening, but it is. So I'll let you guys kind of, I mean, what's your take on this? You've had short sales that have happened in the last 6 months. I think you've had some short sales. So, and anyone in the room, if you've had some, let's just chat about it and what those look like right now.
Like I just talked a lot. Yeah, you talked.
I think we'll continue to see more of it.
When did yours buy? When did the ones that like, because I think that's important too. Like, when did your sellers buy, and like, what are the circumstances? Because I think again, it's circumstantial, right? But we're still seeing some people that have bought in the last few years in short sale because of different loans. So when did
They're
your
all within the last 5 years? I think
Okay.
one of them did like a COVID program or something.
Okay.
And it was a situation where they were not aware of it, but my buyers were not aware of it either.
Okay.
Until a couple weeks before closing.
Okay.
The deal almost fell apart, but the ends negotiated.
Which is Wendy, who's coming in on the 16th.
So it actually went pretty fast. I think it was like a month and a half wait that the buyers had to wait.
Okay. Okay. So to answer that question, I don't know if we're seeing the actual foreclosed properties hit the MLS yet. I don't know what that looks like. What we're seeing is them getting foreclosed on. So part of the process that you'll probably go through is, right, you get your notice that you're getting foreclosed on. It goes to a sheriff sale. If it sells or if it doesn't sell, there's still a redemption period that you can either sell it in. Sometimes it's not even short. Sometimes you can sell it because there's equity in the property. So I think that's kind of where we're at in that process. Or there are some short sales they didn't even know about because of the loans that were brought in through COVID, or whether or not they were seconds during that time to pay off credit card debt. There are a lot of different things that are happening now economically. I mean, we talked about it a little bit this morning of just kind of buyer hesitation by buyers because interest rates, again, credit card debt, gas went up. I mean, all of those things affect your monthly budget and what you're paying and how you're paying for things. And if you can't pay your mortgage, then you're putting your gas on your credit card. Now you're maxing out a credit card that's at 24%. Now you're taking out a home loan, a home equity line because you have equity in it to pay off the credit card. Now you have another payment, right? Like this is what we're dealing with right now because everything is going up. So the conversations you're having with your sellers in regards to where they're at need to be very relational. Like you need to be ready to have these conversations because they're really tough conversations to have sometimes. Even if you have a 2% interest rate on a home, that doesn't mean that you might not be in a situation that is not ideal. So, I mean, I think that kind of goes with some of the, and then there's the big things, right? You've got marriage, you got job loss, you got debt, you got divorce. I mean, there's all of those things that contribute to that. Besides just the economy in general. Does that kind of answer your question? Are you guys feeling this a little bit? I mean, are you feeling this personally? I know when I go to the grocery store and I bought like 6 chicken breasts and I have 6 people in my family and some of them eat more than one and it's like $35 a pack for 4 chicken breasts. That's a lot of money for groceries alone, right? Then you go put gas in the car and it's $110. And guess what? You're in real estate and you're driving around all the time. So that's like $110 every single 3 days, right? So I'm like, it's a reality that we all have to face and we all have to be talking amongst each other how to have these conversations with buyers and sellers because they're feeling it too.
Ask that question. How do you start the conversation with someone without offending them or even knowing what their situation is?
So back in the day when I was selling, and I mean, this was when I literally got into the business when foreclosure and short sales were like everywhere. It was a question on the questionnaire. We just haven't asked it for a long time. Hey, do you have a second? Did you take out a loan during COVID at forbearance? Like it was literally on the questionnaire, right? And then it was, do you know what your payoff is? Like, you know, are there other things that we should be considering in regards to a lien on your property? What would that mean? And then you explain that to them, right? These are all conversations you should be having at a listing appointment when you're going forward to represent them.
And we should, when she says it's on the sheet, it's usually that's like a conversation you're having over the phone before your appointment.
Yes.
Because then I'm updating the net sheet based on what information they gave me, but I'm still asking again in the appointment. And especially if the other thing I've learned, we need to be asking about solar.
Yes, I had one of those.
We need to be asking about any programs that the city might have given them for like updating windows or things like that. Many of those are not grants, they're actually loans. And so just if you walk through the house and you notice the windows are new, hey, I'm curious, when did you update the windows? Did you pay for them out of pocket? Those are the questions before you do the next
On MHFA too, that down payment assistance.
Payment assistance is a big one because depending, and sometimes you have to go back and look at, there's 2 types for it. Either they're making payments on it or it's like forgiven if they've lived there for 10 years or something, right? Yeah. Yeah.
There's a deferred payment, there's a forgivable one, and then there's the monthly payment.
So sometimes they don't even know which one they're on.
So this conversation right here, I'm going to get on my little soapbox for a hot second. When there are trainings, when there are things like team meetings, when there are different masterminds, this is the biggest time to be a part of that, right? Like, what does your pre-list questionnaire look like? Maybe we put one all together. Like, these are all the things that you ask. And maybe it's city dependent, right? And if it's things that you're like, I didn't even think about that, this is where we can do that, right? So in a team meeting, if we're like, hey, this is kind of a dummy one that's already put together, what can we add to this, right? That's where trainings and this type of like setting is invaluable. Because I can guarantee some of you in this room, and when I went on a lot of appointments, I used to do this. You just kind of go out, you're like, here's some comps. Awesome. Do you want to list with me? And this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to market your property. Most of you don't bring a net sheet. Most of you don't ask what their balance is. Most of you don't screen them before you go out there. Right? This is a majority. This is a majority of agents. This is not calling you out. So when you don't find your value or you're like, oh, you know what? Why should we be paying you this? Ask yourself, are you doing everything you can to represent these people? And ask them the questions they need to know to be able to sell their house. If not, let's figure it out together. That's what we're here for, right? Like, be prepared for those appointments. Be ready to have those conversations. If you're like, man, I don't even feel comfortable talking about this. Awesome. Let's get together. I'll pretend to be the seller and you can feel super uncomfortable for like 30 minutes with me. And then we can do it again until all of a sudden you're like, okay, I feel confident in this conversation. Right? Because that's a heck of a lot better than going out and sitting in front of someone that knows they're in foreclosure, has a ton of shame. You go in, you're uncomfortable in your own like conversation. And then all of a sudden, you know what they do? They don't invite anybody else over. They allow the house to go into foreclosure. And then you have people like me who built their business by going and knocking on those doors, and you see all of the paperwork that they just ignored because no one knew how to have the conversation with them. And it's a really, really sad state of affairs, quite honestly, because a lot of them could sell and not go into foreclosure. So it's our job to know what to say, what to ask, and how to deal with these situations. And I feel super strong about it, if you cannot tell. Yeah.
I don't remember you guys from the past. If I thought that Mark V and Zweifel would do those initial consultations, I'm pretty confident that they did. So that's when, because if I remember, actually Wendy, getting a hold of them and saying, hey, we got this client, and my client would go in and meet with them, do like a 30-minute consult. Then they would come back to us and say, these are all the loans they have. This is what I recommend you do.
You still got to get in front of them and to be able to have the conversation to get them there, which is, I mean, I don't know. I've been in situations financially where I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. I would much rather not open that mail than talk about whatever situation I'm in. Do you think it went away? No, it didn't go away until you finally look at it, take responsibility for it, and make it go away.
And even the simplest thing, like, what is a foreclosure, right? What is a foreclosure? Foreclosure is a lawsuit against you from the bank in which they are going to take the asset instead of the debt. I mean, it's a pretty simple concept, but that's actually what it is. And being able to start with that so that people realize, the bank's actually suing you and they're going to take the asset instead of the debt against the asset, which is your house, and how does this affect you and what's the time frame and all of that. I think getting that started and laying that out is going to be super important.
I feel like the room kind of dropped a little bit, but it's really not, it's not a bad, I mean, the situation is bad. But I think this is where the best agents can be the people that the sellers need, right? And informing yourself on how to deal with this is a huge opportunity. And we all say that we're in this to help people, right? This is where you help people.
I would just add that right now there are tons of people that have a lot of equity in their homes. So if they are behind on payments and the foreclosure process starts, that's where we've been able to help a lot of people in the started last year was my first one. And now it's like I have to beat the sheriff's sale. And I have to beat the redemption period. By the way, if the property is vacant, they can expedite the redemption period. So like there's those things you need to know, but I didn't know all of that right away. But the easiest way to get very comfortable having these conversations is to practice and role play with another agent. Like, I know this sounds weird, but it's the best way to learn. I just listen to other people. I'm happy to share our net sheet. I heard someone say, I hate doing net sheets. I love doing net sheets. Like I do. And I don't know if it's because I love Google Sheets and we built ours in a Google Sheet. And the thing about a net sheet is actually it's just a conversation tool. So every seller, all they care about is what am I going to walk away from the closing table with, period. They actually don't give two shits about your marketing plan. They don't care about your brand or your logo. They don't care about any of that, but they want to know, what am I going to walk away from closing with? So if I can say, here's your state deed tax, here are your title fees, curious, you're part of an HOA, we are going to need to order updated HOA documents. Those are normally between $250 to $400. So I'm going to put $400 on my net sheet. Oh, I also put a $600 cleaning fee on my net sheet because sometimes these homes are gross. And so
You don't say that though. You just.
no, how I
Your home is gross. I'm putting 600 on
No,
there.
so for example, I have one happening tomorrow where I said, hey, you're a busy mom of 3. You probably don't have time to deep clean your home before we start showings. I can get my cleaner in there for you tomorrow. I even put it on the net sheet. I'll take care of it and I'll get paid back at close. You just remove every objection from them. And it's that easy in a conversation.
Well, and when you say that, no one's like, no, don't do that. Like, no one's gonna say no to that, right? Like, they're like, okay, you came in, you're professional, you know what I'm coming away with. There seems to be value. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do a drone video and then we're gonna put it on social media and then I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna network with, like,
I actually don't talk about that.
that's not it. That's not what they want to really, they might ask you some things. A lot of times they don't even ask you about any of that. Like, our biggest objections are like, oh, I don't know how long I've been in the business. I don't, how many homes did you sell? I don't know. When I was going on appointments often, I don't ever remember sellers asking me that. Not once. Like, how many homes did you sell last year? They don't care if you give them that information. Like, they don't care.
Well, the net sheet guides every hard conversation.
Yes.
To it. Have to address commission when you do a net sheet. Have to address what their mortgage balance is. You have to address if there's any like city truth housing.
The best part is they have no idea what their mortgage balance is, so they have to look at that.
Right.
Like,
In the net sheet, pretty much every conversation we're trying to avoid and they're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
Line by line. Natural way flow into that conversation.
Are you going to share your net sheet? Any structured entity?
all right, so I think we had a productive conversation.